Palestinian diplomats appealing to the UN today for international protection for Gazan civilians after last week's violence on the Israel-Gaza border during those mass demonstrations. The Palestinian ambassador to the UN wants an investigation into what he calls Israel's illegal and immoral shoot-to-kill policy against unarmed protesters. The IDF, though, says that they will continue to use live fire to stop border infiltration attempts if necessary. Joining me in studio is IDF Reserves Colonel Olivier Rafowicz, also an Israeli military and security expert. But let's first turn to our Middle East correspondent, Emily Rose, live for us at the Israel-Gaza border. Emily, Israel's defense minister not backing down, promising, if need be, an even harsher response. What is at stake? What can we expect ahead of another mass demonstration in just a few days on Friday afternoon?
Yes, Jeff, we're here live on the Gaza border, and as you mentioned, it's been a tumultuous past couple of days. Our cameraman, Evgeny, is just going to take you to my left, and you can actually see this is an IDF lookout over here, and it's just looking out past the Gazan town of Khan Yunis, and that's where there was a lot of turmoil and conflict in the past couple of days, specifically on Friday, as you mentioned. And this just really shows you how close we are, how close these two feuding foes are to one another, and how severe it is when there's a breach from the Gazan side onto the Israeli side, how close and how particularly severe it is for the residents on this side of the border when there is such a breach. And that's why the Israeli defense minister was so avid and in his assertion that he would act if necessary if there is a breach or any approach of the Gazan border.
Emily, we can see now because it's calm, it's empty. I mean, really, when these protests are getting underway, how close to the fence are these Gazan demonstrators? How close are they before the IDF may open fire? Are we talking a few dozen feet, hundreds of feet?
Well, they can get quite close. And actually, as you mentioned, what we've seen here today in the past couple of hours is that farmers and residents on the other side, on the Israeli side, are really trying to get back to their daily lives. You see farmers returning to the field and citizens trying to return at least to their daily lives, even though still there are calls for continued violence and continued protest and continued conflict, specifically heating up into this coming Friday.
All right, Emily Rose reporting live at the border. Thank you so much for that report. Back in studio, Colonel, what do we expect for this Friday? What do you expect, especially since over the last week, the IDF has confirmed they've confiscated weapons, they've uncovered terror plots. What does it mean for this weekend?
It is very possible that Hamas organization will continue to increase the pressure on the border by trying to push even more people. But we believe, and it's not science. We believe that we have succeeded to deter more than they say the people there to get very close to the border, because, you know, the result was quite tough, and we are ready to do more if there is a need to, because we cannot stand masses of people not only close to the border but close to our forces, very close to the border. People don't understand, if I may, that the distances are very, very narrow in this area. We talk about meters, not kilometers, and there is no possibility for Israel even to give possibilities to these guys to get so close, because first there is the problem of planting bombs along the border, and we know that they do it. Second, we know that they are preparing assault or attacks from the border toward our troops. So we have to be ready, in one side, just to answer your question, to more turmoil. But we also believe that there is maybe some restraint from the people to get there because Hamas is asking them, and maybe they will not accept the orders.